All right, let's dive into two really crucial tools for checking up on a company's financial health: net working capital and the current ratio. These can seriously tell you if a business is built to last or if it's just one step away from disaster. Whenever you peek at a company's financials, you're basically asking this one big question: can they pay their bills next month? What happens if there's a sudden downturn? The key to answering all of this lies in one single concept: liquidity. So, what is liquidity? Simply put, it's about having enough cash or things you can turn into cash quickly to cover your short-term bills. It's truly the lifeblood of a company. Without it, even a business that's making a profit on paper can totally fail. So how do we actually measure it? Well, our investigation is going to start with our first big clue: net working capital. This is pretty much the most straightforward way to look at a company's short-term operating firepower. And the formula? It could not be simpler. You just take all the stuff the company expects to turn into cash within a year, those are its current assets, and you subtract everything it has to pay within a year, that's its current liabilities. What's left over? That's its operating cushion. So let's actually put this formula to work. As you can see right here, in the prior year, the company had $360,000 in net working capital. Now look at the current year. That number's grown to $370,000. Hey, that's a $10,000 increase. Now, on the surface, this looks great, right? The company has a bigger dollar cushion to work with than it did last year. You'd think so, wouldn't you? More is always better. If your personal emergency fund grows by 10 grand, you're definitely feeling safer. So it's really tempting to just look at this number, give it a thumbs up, and call it a day. But that would be a classic mistake. And here's why. Think about it. A $10,000 cushion means one thing if your monthly bills are, say, $1,000, but it means something completely different if your bills are $50,000. The absolute number by itself is pretty much meaningless without context. We have to know the size of the obligations that cushion is supposed to cover. And that is what brings us to the twist in our story: the current ratio. This is where we get the context that we desperately need. So instead of subtracting, we divide. See, the current ratio doesn't tell us the size of the cushion in dollars. Instead, it tells us how many times the company could pay off its short-term debts using only its short-term assets. It's a measure of proportional safety. Okay, let's run the numbers for our company again. Last year, they had $2.31 in current assets for every $1 of current liabilities. Pretty solid. But this year, even though their working capital went up, their ratio dropped down to 1.95. All of a sudden, this picture isn't looking so great. And this right here is the whole lesson. Net working capital went up, which felt good, but the current ratio went down, which is a big warning sign. Yeah, their dollar cushion got a little bigger, but their liabilities grew even faster, which actually weakened their overall short-term financial position. So the crucial point here? You absolutely need both metrics to see the full picture. Okay, so we've got these numbers. One's up, one's down. How in the world do we interpret these mixed signals and figure out if the company is actually healthy? Generally speaking, a low ratio, let's say anything below 1, is a major red flag. It literally means you don't have enough liquid assets to cover your immediate bills. But on the flip side, an overly high ratio isn't necessarily great either. It could mean the company is just hoarding cash or other assets instead of putting that money to work to grow the business. It's a real balancing act. And here's a huge pro tip, especially if you're studying this for an exam: never, ever take the ratio at face value. The quality of the assets matters so much. If a big chunk of your current assets is a warehouse full of inventory that nobody wants, or a bunch of bills owed by customers who are about to go bankrupt, well, your current ratio is giving you a false sense of security. You always have to question what's inside that number. And finally, you have to remember that context is everything. A good current ratio for a grocery store, which sells inventory and gets cash back super quickly, might be dangerously low for a business like a gold mining company, which has a much, much longer operating cycle before it ever sees cash. You always have to compare a company to others in its specific industry. So let's bring this all home. Let's create a simple, actionable toolkit that you can use. At the end of the day, analyzing liquidity is all about understanding this balance right here. Are the company's short-term resources actually enough to handle its short-term obligations? It's a constant weigh-in. So here's your big takeaway. When you're looking at a company's short-term health, just use this two-step process. First, look at the net working capital to get a sense of the size of their dollar cushion, and this is key, Don't stop there. Step 2, immediately calculate the current ratio. That's what gives you the proportional safety and shows you the real story. And that brings us to our final thought. Liquidity tells us if a company can probably survive the next year. But what about the next decade? For that, we need to look at things like solvency and leverage, its ability to meet its long-term obligations. But that's a story for another explainer.